All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna do something a little different. I gotta wash my car, and for the wash media, I wanna use these sponges. Now, I normally don't use sponges, but these are all rinseless wash sponges that I've tried, and I wanna try them in some soap and see how they feel. We are gonna be using Turtle Wax Max Power. This is a 100-ounce bottle. I've got about half left, so let's just say it's about 50 ounces. I'm gonna be putting some into direct water as my wash bucket. I'll have a rinse bucket with water, so we'll have soap and water, just water with a dirt lock grit guard, and we'll also be pouring some of this into the IK foamer for a pre-foam and rinse. So let's get to this. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. We're gonna be doing something new for me. I never use sponges, but let's try them out and see how they feel during a car wash. Let's get going. All right, so my car's not super dirty, but I've got kick up. I drive through construction. They water the roads, and I just get lots of little debris underneath me. The back is nice and dirty. It's got all these black specks. I'm not sure if I'm picking them up, but you can see there is some dirt and grime all over the tail. And basically, I just need to wash the car. Okay, let's see if this one fits a little bit better in here. Now we've got just pure water. This will be my rinse bucket, and then this is soap and a lot of Max Power. We'll use this as our wash bucket. Okay, now over here we've got about 4 liters of water. We're gonna dump some soap. Now remember, I just kind of want to use this soap up. So let's dump some soap into here. Oh yeah, babe. Oh yeah. All right, we've got our air. Let's plug it in, put some air in here. And we're all set. All right, so we're gonna do our pre-foam. All right, so we've got the car all foamed up. Now, I filled the IK 3 times with air just to get a nice amount of foam in it. And just so you know, I still have about 2 liters left. So that's about 2 liters of product all around the car. It is nice and foamed up. Walked around it twice. Just gonna let it sit here for a second. That's why we're doing it in the shade. And work its magic, whatever its magic is. I'll tell you that this stuff does smell really good though. So after this, we're gonna rinse, and then we'll start with the hand wash and all the sponges here. So let's try this out. Let's get this rinsed off and see how it goes. All right, guys, now there's something to be said about this wash process, pre-foam, and maybe even the Turtle Wax soap. It's it's like $5 for this bottle. And now, of course, you had to dump a lot of it for it to be more powerful. It says, the pH cleaning power goes up, but when I tested it, I got like a pH neutral. But nonetheless, just after the foam and wash, you can see it's gotten the dirt off it. Now that's just an IK foam. Let it sit, rinse it off. That's not even a high pressure setting on the hose. Now back here, the same thing. It is clean. It's gotten all that dirt off the back. As you can see, very, very cool. So that's pretty impressive. Pretty cool. All right, guys, so let's start out. We got the wash mitts all soaked up here. I'm gonna start out with this Speed Master, or whatever his name is. This is the one that I like for the rinseless wash. It was very soft, but it had the eggshells. So once again, I'm using the eggshell side here, and it kind of rubs and gets caught into everything. As I flip it over and use the back side, I think I like that better. Now, in between washes, I'm going to be taking the sponges, soaking them in here, rubbing them on the grit guard, and rinsing them down. All right, so they'll be nice and clean. I'm going to set it aside. Back to the car. Let's go. I think this is called the this one's called the Suds Buds, and this one feels very firm compared to the last one. It's very, very firm. It does have the slits in it. Now, I'm not rubbing real hard, but you know, this is definitely not my favorite for this application here. I would say this feels very, very coarse. All right. All right, I'm just gonna rinse this down, get that soap off there. All right, so here we have the McKee's. This is their big golden sponge. Now this feels a lot better than that Suds Bud sponge. Very smooth. I feel a lot better using this. Very soft, gentle. Okay, finally we have the, I guess it's the Rag Company sponge here. It's the black one. I'm not sure what the heck they call it, UBS or Ultimate Black Sponge. Not really sure. It feels soft, but it's very dense. It's very thick. So, I mean, if you like that, it's got, you know, if you put a little bit of pressure on it, it's not going anywhere. It seems like it would be easier to put pressure where you don't want to put a lot of pressure on anything. You just kind of want to wash. It is smaller. It does feel pretty nice fitting in my hand. All right, guys, and you know, we might as well throw in the big red sponge. That's the original one that is for rinseless washing. I don't know that they say to use it for soap washing, but well, we've used all the ones I have so far, so let's try this one out. And in case you guys want to see some water beading, water sheeting type. Alright guys, now I don't normally use this thing except for leaves outside. I just find that I feel they're going to pick up dust and not filter through. I don't mind my air compressors or my Metro vacuum blow, but let's just see how good this one does. It's pretty powerful, so I'll bring you in and I'll show you how quick this blows off the water. Alright guys, if you liked the video, hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to press the notifications bell so you get all the new videos we're putting out. Today, we did a car wash 2-bucket method using Max Power car wash soap. Now, I probably used about 25 or 30 ounces because I still have less than that. So we put, I don't know, 10, 12 ounces in the wash bucket. We put 10 ounces inside the IK foamer. I use the IK foamer to foam it, let it sit, then I grab my hose with its softest setting and I rinsed the foam off. It actually took off a lot of the dirt and debris on the car. I was very impressed with that. So after that, I came back with my bucket wash here. And the big thing today was trying out the different sponges. So I had a bucket full of soap and a bucket of water with the grit guard. Let's start with the blue sponge. This is the Suds Box sponge. Just too coarse. It didn't hurt the paint because I checked the paint at the end with the light. There's no scratching or marring, but it's just too coarse. It feels too coarse. So this is my least favorite sponge of the bunch. This is, I think it's called Suds Buds. The next least favorite one for this process was the Optimum Big Red Sponge. Now, I'm not even sure if you're supposed to use this for soap and water, but I threw it in the mix and it was my next least favorite. So this is number 4. The next one, the number 3 sponge, is the black sponge, Uber Ultimate Black Sponge. Now this was nice and soft, but it's very dense and thick, so it doesn't seem to conform very well, or it just makes you want to push on it. I don't know. Not a bad sponge for this, but it wasn't my favorite use, although it did fit nice in the hand. All right. The next sponge that I liked was the McKee's sponge. Now, it's kind of a toss-up between the Speedmaster and the McKee's big gold sponge here. So I like the softness of this Speedmaster sponge, but once again, I don't like this eggshell stuff. So I like the back of it, and that's where that draws this back, but it's very soft. This is the softest sponge, and you know, it wasn't bad, but I don't like this part of it. This one was the second softest sponge in the test, and I have no complaints with it, just not as soft as this one. So I'll probably say if I had to pick one, I would make this my number 1 sponge, but it's right next to this because this was just so soft and supple on the paint. But these things seem to get caught in every little groove and nook and cranny, so I like this. You know, entirely up to you. That's just my take on the sponges. I had no problem really using them for shampoo this time around, and just different, I guess. You know, usually I use them for rinseless washing. Now, to dry the car, I normally don't use this thing. I use this leaf blower for blowing leaves. Now this is a Toro. I think I bought this 5, 6, 7 years ago for like $100, and I know they got them new Eagle blowers that are just massively powerful. But I'll tell you what, this is very powerful too, and I mean, I don't know how much more power you need than this. The big drawback is using a cord and the length of this. But you know, you be careful, you walk around, this thing does the job just fine. There are gonna be little bits, a water drop here and there because it blows it one way and blows it the other and da-da-da-da, and I'm filming. But I think this does a fantastic job. If you guys have never used a leaf blower, the biggest draw to them is they suck up from one end and push out. Now, I don't think these have filters on them, so you could be sucking up dirt and shooting it onto the car. So you got to kind of be mindful of that. Since I washed in the garage floor was wet, so I wasn't really going to be picking up any dust or any dirt in here. It was wet, it got washed down, and it was still wet as I was blow drying the car. So now I'll just go over the car with a towel and a detail spray, and I'm all set, guys. So I hope you liked it. If you've never tried any of these sponges out and you want them, they're neat for dual purpose rinseless washing or soap washing. Hey, try them out, see if you like it. It's not really my cup of tea. I like mitts better, but it was fun trying it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.